Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Spins Vinyl live stream. I got two awesome guests with me. We got Jose Marino Ron from Aurora Central Records, and of course, and you know him, and you know my other guest very well, concert buddy. This is Chance. What's up, you guys?
What's going on?
Thanks everybody for joining, man. This is going to be a fun one. We're gonna keep it short, but we're gonna keep it super sweet because we got a giveaway today. In fact, if you look below, we got make sure that you are you got your hashtag LED all set up on the video that I've linked in the comments section and started. So presumably that means it's going to be right there. So click on that. Make sure you enter hashtag LED in the comments section on that video so that you can be entered in to take this baby home today. We're going to draw for this at the end of the stream. So
hang on, I thought me and Jose were getting one of those anyway. I'm confused.
Just kidding, everyone.
That's why I was sending you my address.
Right. Yeah. I gave you my social security and my credit card, but I don't get one of those, huh? Oh, man.
So if these guys drop off like in the next 3 minutes, you'll know why.
Oh, hang on, my internet is really getting really sorry.
My laptop is.
Hey man, guess what? There's free records at what is it? Soundofvinyl.com.
Sound of Vinyl, that's right.
Yeah. So I'll hook you up there, man. Tell you what, all you got to pay is shipping. You don't even got to worry about paying for a record.
Well, that one's even kind of a hoax. Well, not a hoax, but
don't say that. I already gave them my money.
Well, no. It's legit in the sense if people don't know.
Yeah.
They did this in the spring, I think it was. They did a similar promotion where all you had to do was pay shipping. They've since edited it. So before you had to order each record on its own and pay for shipping. So I was getting like mailers every day for like 2 weeks. It was really gross. This time around, you still got to pay shipping, but they've modified it where if you get like 1 to 2 records, it's like $12 each shipping. Up to 4, it's $10 each. We've lost our host, Jose.
Oh no. All right, guys, take over. No, I knew that was going to happen. I was trying to
get money and run. I knew it. This is a scam too. What's going on
here? Okay, hold on. Please.
No. But the other, so up to 4 was $10 each shipping. And then I think anything beyond that, like I'm going to be honest, I ordered like 12 because there's Christmas coming up. So I'm going to be giving out some of these gifts. So
I knew you were going to come correct. I was like, I'm sure Chance picked up he probably bought multiple copies of stuff.
Do they still have that? Do they still have that?
It's still live, yeah, for sure. If you go to I think it was a Sound of Vinyl, they even have it as a banner. At first they sent it like a push email. They're like, since you're such a good customer, but then it's literally a banner on their main page. So it's not like Joe B customer can go on there and be like, oh wow, look at this. But anyway, I think ended up when I ordered 12, it ended up being like 8 with tax and everything, $8.80 a piece. So that's not too bad. I mean, especially because some of the titles were some acoustic sounds releases, some Verb by Request releases. So some of them were, things I had already bought when they first came out at full price. So it's kind of like the doctor gave me that one.
Yeah, no, that was clutch, dude. I appreciate it. And then I went back the next day after buying. I got 7 albums, I think, and they were already out of stock on like 2 or 3 of them.
They come in and out because the ones to me the best thing they had there was the Lenny Kravitz Greatest Hits. It's normally 2 LP, $40 retail. So I bought 2 of them. So I paid like 10 or 12 a piece shipping. So I mean, you're literally getting them for 25% of the MSRP. It can't beat it.
And those, I mean, some of those albums, I mean, they got Tone Poets on there that are going for like $40 retail. I mean, that was a nice deal. So, I appreciate that. So, yeah, for people that don't know, Sound of Vinyl, I think it's soundofvinyl.com.
I think so, yeah. I can
do a Sound of Vinyl church. Yeah.
But what's the thing? You have to buy anything and they give you something, or
it's only select titles, Jose. Like they clearly or over inventoried. Like if you hang on a second, not the
they're probably overstocked on stuff, and it's basically they're free albums, but you do pay shipping, and the shipping is on a sliding scale depending on how many you buy. So the more you buy, the cheaper the shipping.
So Jason, if you want to show that presenting thing, look backstage. So I so this, well, hang on. When you pull it up, I'll redo it. Yeah, literally their banner literally says free vinyl. So it wasn't a mistake the first time. This was clearly like orchestrated,
they're
perpetrated, all the above. But it's, I mean, since we're here, we'll just click on it. I mean, see, back in stock, this 40th anniversary moving pictures back in stock, right?
Like, I almost pulled the trigger on that. If I didn't have an original, I would have snagged it.
So Sonny Rollins, here's another, Verve series.
I got that one.
Let's see what else we got.
Interestingly enough, I can't see it on my computer.
I got that Gil Evans.
Is it weird?
Oh, you can't see it?
No. Is it?
You mean you can't see
really,
that? Oh, okay. Weird.
It's blocked. It's blocked.
No, but where do you click? Where do you click? Because I'm seeing it here. And then...
So on the screen right now, you just see me and Jason right now?
No. I see what you're doing, but not like I Google.
Oh yeah. So go to the soundofvinyl.us.
Oh, they .us.
Yeah, so that may be that may be part of the secret sauce on that one, but
yeah, it is.
It pulls up these I mean, these are very targeted titles. I mean, again, here's another Verve series. I bought this Gil Evans when it came out. That was at least $30 when it came out before they took prices up.
That's pretty cool. So you just pay shipping, but you can only buy like one or two. You said.
Well, this time they opened it up, man. Like I said, I went back. Because I'm a hungry hippo, and because some of these titles came in and out of stock, right? And so the Lenny Kravitz Greatest Hits was not available when I first went on there. It said already sold out.
When are they closing this?
See, like for example, so see how these titles all say sold out right now. Like this John Coltrane's come in and out of stock here, so you just gotta be kind of a weirdo and just check the site maybe once a day or something. But
they have that.
So here it is. Yeah, this Lenny Kravitz. I mean, literally,
there's a lot of them that I actually like. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you buy enough, it's actually worth it. Even if you buy a couple, like even if you get 4, let's just say you're getting 4, $10 a piece shipped. Some of these are double albums. Here's a $40 retail album. I mean,
yeah, depending on what you get. I mean,
a lot of pages.
Here's another one. This Who Half Speed Master, My Generation.
I almost grabbed that, and it's out now. Yeah.
So yeah, but anyway, I mean, when it happened in the spring, like several of us were talking and thought like maybe this was like a mistake. Maybe it was like, oh, we got them, get those orders in. And,
that's what I thought. I thought somebody hacked your account or something. I'm like, who's sending me this text?
No, if it hadn't happened before, because I only think I told like select people last time, but this time, as soon as actually, in full credit to Ronaldo, he's the one that said, "Hey, check your email," and I got the email.
Getting like all the Christmas presents.
Jose, if you can look at the list, if there's anything you want, maybe I'll VCLT it too.
Well, that Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. I'm not a Beatles fan at all, but that record in particular, I actually do like it. He went back to Abbey Road. He recorded all the equipment he originally did.
Nice.
He even composed some songs in the to sound alike. It's called Jenny Rang, but the song is composed like Blackbird from the Beatles. So it is actually fun to listen to. He did a video. It's up on YouTube. He tells like how he composed everything. There's an audience at Abbey Road, and it tells a little bit. So if you're a Beatles fan, and you probably already know about the record, but if not, if you're like me, that not as thrilled about the Beatles as other people, it is interesting. No,
I think that sounds like a nice way to say it.
No, it's interesting because I can't think of a lot of records where people actually try to emulate their sound from a long time, more than 30, 40 years ago. Is that
one where they were mixing with content that was created, tracks that were created 40 years ago, right? Or 50 years ago?
No.
Or is this a different one?
No, this one was literally like, hey, I want to go back to Abbey Road and use the old equipment that we use, same studios and everything. Because everyone in the Beatles, after it broke up, famously didn't go to Abbey Road to record stuff, even if they could. So this was like an exercise in let's go back, and he actually tried to compose. It doesn't sound like a cash grab. That's why I like it, because it's not. It's like, hey, look at this. It sounds like the Beatles. It was never that. It was just like, I'm gonna try to do this, and that Jenny Rang song. He says in the video, I want to compose it in a way that it sounds like me and George are writing in the song in that style, and he tells about this type of chords I haven't done it in such a way since then. So it's nice. It's like an artist knowing how much he's progressed and trying to go back to see if it's as easy as just trying to do it. So I think it's a interesting one. So it's free. I mean, get it.
It's on my list. I already got it coming to me. So
yeah, and that Sinatra one as well. That Sinatra one, it's pretty cool because Sinatra coming from the 50s, trying to being this huge artist, and when the 60s started happening, all these artists that were big in the 50s were so scared of what's going to happen, and they felt so out of place in the 60s
out of touch,
immediately. Like Elvis was like, "What is going on?" He did that weird song that's like psychedelic-y. I can't remember the name of it, but he got the producer for Pet Sounds, for Beach Boys Pet Sounds, to record this record that's sort of based on something. I can't remember what it's based, but it's
like a concept album.
It's a concept album, but it's its own thing. It's called Waterfront, but it was like the black sheep of Sinatra's whole discography because it's weirdly. But Cake, the band Cake, has a cover of one of those songs. It's called "What's Now Is Now," and I grew up on a Cake music, so that's something that I didn't know. Oh, it's a Sinatra song.
Are you talking about this band?
Whoa!
And this is not a reissue. I just want to be very clear. This is not a reissue.
Is it? It's
nice
not?
OG.
Oh, that's the original one, you say?
Yeah, I went big game hunting a couple weeks ago and picked it up. Amoeba, honestly, I'm telling on myself, but Amoeba was so thankful.
No, that's pretty cool. I don't know.
They sent me a bunch of free tchotchke stuff. They gave me a tote bag. They sent me a bunch of stuff.
Did you go you went to Amoeba?
I bought it online through their website.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh wow, I've never bought anything from them online because that website is horrible.
It's not great, but if it's better than are we gonna do power rankings of e-commerce retailers? Because it would probably be in the middle for me. I mean, you've got a pretty low bar when you've got the Acoustic Sounds website, you've got the Mobile Fidelity site.
I'm so glad you're calling them out, dude.
And listen, I'm just keeping it real. Amoeba's kind of in the middle. Plaid Room, Dusty Groove. You got some real top tiers, and then you got Acoustic Sounds.
You'd be way better off just flying to the Bay Area and going to Berkeley. Hit up, you can hit up Rasputin's and you can hit up Amoeba, dude. That was my stomping ground when I was a kid, man. It was like every weekend. Yeah, I feel so fortunate.
Was Amoeba in that same building in the former bowling alley at that time, or were they somewhere else?
So,
I'm sorry. You said the Berkeley one, right?
Berkeley, right.
Okay, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
You're talking SoCal.
Yeah, Berkeley is the original Amoeba, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Yeah. Well, and they used to Rasputin's had multiple storefronts, and there was one in San Lorenzo right around the corner from me, and that one bounced around like 3 or 4 times. Finally closed, unfortunately, probably maybe 5 or 10 years ago now. But I was in Berkeley recently, probably a year or so ago, and just had to go in there. I left all the stickers on my record just because it was so nostalgic, to be back in Amoeba and Rasputin's again. So
for sure.
But yeah. So I'm sorry, Jose, what were you saying?
No. I was just this is my bootleg that I was so happy when I got it.
I was wondering what color that was because I didn't know that. I didn't think they did an official.
It sounds better than the US reissue that just came out. It sounds the European version does sound a little better, but you have no idea how much, like, when I was a kid, I used to listen to the one.
Oh yeah,
the one that I used to listen to the most was this one.
Oh, Prolonging the Magic. Yeah, they just reissued that one. Yeah.
Yeah. These are the reissues. So far, this is the latest one, Comfortable Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have a lot of bands from my. I'm 28, but I don't have a lot of bands from when I was a kid that I used to listen to that are like in print or whatever. They've been reissuing Presidents of the United States of America, and they are pressing some Weird Al Yankovic. But Weird Al Yankovic, I know you have the box set, Chance, but
yeah,
it's not. I don't think it's happening anytime soon. Though they start reissuing it. So I'm happy that they are doing this.
Yeah, no offense, Jose. I don't want them to reissue it because I want that box set to continue to, like, you remember Price is Right,
Well,
the Odling, I just want to keep going.
Well, you know what? What I will be really angry is that if they do the whole box set, but they don't do the live record, because I actually listened to that record and I actually like it a lot.
Have you ever seen Weird Al live?
No, I have. I've never seen Weird Al.
So fun.
He never comes around here. Even I like if he comes to like Austin, I would definitely go there. I know that he's doing shows still, but he's not gonna release any more music, he says. And it's Bad Hair Day was probably one of the first CDs I ever bought.
You guys know who Nardwar is?
Yeah, of course.
That's the guy in Canada, right?
Yeah,
he has an interview with Weird Al, which I love, dude. I go back and watch that thing. It's so funny, man. It was like, it's really nice. If you haven't seen it, you gotta check it out.
I've seen so many interviews by Nardwar that some are more memorable because they're horrible, like the Sonic Youth one. It's horrible. Like
the early ones, Nirvana.
Of course, it's just like sitting like, yeah, sure, like really weird.
He had balls even then, though, man. And it's like, and suddenly he started getting respect because he just would not give up, giving people gifts every single interview until they're just like, okay, I mean, you're actually cool.
I'm actually currently reading this Thorsten Moore,
Sonic Youth guy,
nice.
Autobiography. So I'm hoping he talks about that Nardwar thing because it's horrible. If you see that interview, it's a horrible.
Yeah.
They make fun of him.
That's the one where somebody takes something and breaks it. That he had a gift, and they yeah, it was harsh. She's like, "You asshole."
It was for Much Music. I used to watch Much Music. I don't know if it was as popular in the U.S. or at all, but that's like Canadian MTV. But
I haven't seen it. Well, do you guys want to, let's see, we don't have to take a lot of time on this first one. So I'm just going to talk about Black Friday. I know we already talked about this on One to Chance streams, but I figured it's right around the corner. Have you guys cooled off on it? Is there one that, maybe you wake up in a, sweaty heat because you're like, I got to have this one. Are you going to stand in line? Are you going to wait? What do you guys think?
Chance, go first. Go.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. No, this is actually probably gonna be the first Record Store Day Black Friday. I'm probably just gonna do online only, to be completely frank, because this one more than the spring one. It's in my area. I think it's projecting already to be cold, so that's already gonna be a deterrent to me.
Exactly my point.
So last year, well, I don't want to get into the infamous. I think was it last? No, it was in the spring. Never mind. But yeah, being hours sitting outside, you can do it if the vinyl inside is hot. If it's some heat waiting for you, and you can gorilla push. You can bring the blankets, the Michelin Man coat. You can do all that stuff. But guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna pull it up here again. I've only looked at the list when we talked about it on our stream, and it's softer than Charmin, guys. I gotta be honest with you, it is. In fairness to the organizers, who I'm not real happy with about the Macho Man debacle, the spring list was pretty stout. It was pretty packed, but this one, I mean, again, here's the rub. I'm gonna try to get them online, and if I can't get them online, I'm gonna be okay with it. I'm not gonna play the flip. I'm not gonna pay the flipper prices. I'd be very surprised. I know, honestly, if anybody are thinking about flipping these titles, like you got, I mean, dudes, I mean, come on, like this is the wrong time to flip, because
even like you said, even the spring titles were most of the ones I've seen, or at least ones I was interested in, were readily available even after the fact, and some of them were very low print runs.
Yeah.
That people just didn't pick up. I mean, I don't know what the numbers are, if Record Store Day slowed down this year. I know a lot of other things have slowed down this year, but yeah, like you said, it's light. So even though I kind of have my eyes on two records, sorry, Jose, I'll let you jump in a second, but because I only have two, couple that I'm interested in. One would be the English Beat, that's something that I listened to when I was a kid, and now it's a double LP. I guess there's some live tracks on there,
Well,
some
well,
alternate
well, are
takes.
you camping out for this, or are you just going to try to get it if you can?
Well, that's the capper. I mean, I'm not going to camp out.
Attaboy.
I'm expecting cold and rain, and it's like I'm a once a year guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll get me out there once a year.
You're
but
a Pacific Northwest guy. I mean, I know you're used to some letting hardly any sun out there. I get it, but man, yeah, you got to really want it.
When you're in the Pacific Northwest, you got your pride to look out for. You can't be caught with an umbrella or anything like that. So it's like, you got to brave it. You got to be t-shirt, shorts, boom.
Right.
And like
maybe a light windbreaker, maybe a light windy.
Maybe. And like you said, if the content is hot, then yes. And the only other one was the Dave Brubeck, because it's a live show that it's supposed to be recorded impeccably. 1959. I mean, that's his wheelhouse. That's when Time Out came out and all that stuff. So I think that's going to be a good one. But yeah, you know what? Just exactly like you said, it's not worth waiting in the rain for. If it's available, it's available. After the fact.
And something they've been doing, and I think Jose caught this before too, is they're reissuing reissues, like Record Store Day exclusives. A couple years later, like that Ahmad Jamal, I think Jason, I think you even talked about this somewhere, that Ahmad Jamal's already come out 2 other times, including, or was it the Dolphy, the Eric Dolphy, who's your guys. It came out last year on Record Store Day, another version here. Now here we go, a year later or less than a year. Again, like, guys, how many times
it came out this year? It was this last Record Store Day.
It was in spring. Yeah, it was a 3 LP set. You're right. Yep.
Exactly. And now this is just. And the thing is too, is when they're really, and I told you on your stream, it's like, they call it like I forget what the term is, a special edition or something, because it has the original labels, it has the original cover art. It's like, I mean,
marketing,
I expect that. Yes. I know. It's like, so anyway. So what about you, Jose?
I look, this is a question that I'll ask you that I think I didn't ask on Chances. What's a successful Record Store Day list for you? Because at least for me, there are 3 titles that I want, and to be honest, I don't want to spend $300 on Record Store Day, so I'm extremely fine with getting 2 or 3 records. So there are 3 records that I really want. Is there a
King Crimson? I forget. Is there a King Crimson release?
No. There's the first one is a Captain and Beefheart.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I'll tell you this: Captain Beefheart, collecting Captain Beefheart, it's strange because sporadically, even music on vinyl has been reissuing some stuff. Jack White's been reissuing some stuff, but it took me by surprise that these titles that are, for me, this is my favorite. Captain Beefheart. This was released on Record Store Day this year on the normal one. But it was so good. It sounds so good. Like for real. I'm not someone that's going to talk about audio fidelity all the time.
How's the sound stage, Jose?
I feel like I'm there.
Does it feel like the band is in the room playing right for you?
Is it dynamic?
I'm in the studio. Like, I'm in the middle of the band playing. No,
I mean, is everybody positioned in 3D? That's what I want to know. You got the drummer in the back center, you got the singer just off to the left, you got the bass.
Yes.
No, but, and it's in mono. How do they do it?
We need to establish a drinking game for these audiophile terms. Anytime that you hear one of these things, you just have to like bottom up and throw it up.
So this is everybody. You don't have to notice those comments. This is a Chris Bellman. This is a Chris Bellman cut, which is, I wouldn't say weird, but to me, it's interesting when you see all these records that a lot of people don't necessarily think of when they think of all these like audiophile records. But again, I'm really happy. So it's going to be like this one, a 2 LP set.
Okay.
And I'm just looking forward, because if it's as good, I'll be happy, because it's one of those bands that Zappa, it's like always going to be in print or stuff like that, like Steely Dan, right? Of course. But you don't really think of this. So it's like when Mobile Fidelity did the Basement tapes by Dylan, something that is not considered to be as high quality, when it comes out this way, it makes me feel like, oh wow, like I don't have to seek out an original one and pay like $100, like, so I'm happy with that. And then the other one, it's a 13th floor elevator.
Yeah.
That I'm happy because they've been reissuing the other two, and this is Bull of the Woods, and it's not as common to see. It's been reissued a few times, and most of them are like in the $100 range.
Yeah,
some are not, but the one that I'm really that I'm looking forward to, but for some reason I can't.
The Pauly Shore one, is that the one you're after?
No, would you believe me that I can't find the one that I really wanted it? I can't find it. Like, it's not here. I don't know why. I think they took it out. Literally, I think they took it out.
These shysters, after the Macho Man debacle, I would not be surprised if they pulled it off the list.
It was a Scarlett Johansson record.
Oh yeah. Hang on.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you talked about that. Hey, Chance, before I forget again, dude, what is that Frank Zappa thing you in the background? Is that the
Record Collector?
Well, it's not the latest. This is the latest issue I have of Record Collector News. Shout out to Jim Kaplan. There is a new issue. Apparently, I think it's a VIP list because the VIPs are already flashing it around the community. But I'm on the back end. I pay for my subscription. I'm not a freeloader, so I pay for mine. But I'm waiting. Hopefully, Jim, shout out. Hopefully, it's in the mail. I'm looking forward to it. But,
interestingly, the first time that I ever encountered Record Collector News.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
This is from 2019. I got it in Austin with
200 motels.
I'm probably one of the only 100 people on earth that I love this film. It's horrible. Yeah. Ringo Starr plays Zappa. It's surreal. I love it. It's like he had money and he said, "Let's throw it in the toilet." And
it's the first movie that they ever filmed on videotape. Yeah, I'm a massive Zappa fan. I've seen all that. Yeah.
What did you guys think of that Alex Winter documentary?
Is that the Zappa, the one that's titled Zappa, that last one that came out?
Yeah.
I was basically a bunch of interviews. I mean, I thought it was pretty good, but
7.5.
7.5 on a 10-point scale. That's not bad.
No, it's not bad because I'll tell you, there was a lot of footage that I've never seen.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a lot of info that I didn't already knew. The GTO stuff was pretty cool. The a little bit of specific Mother of Invention stuff. The Turtles becoming Zappa's band. Everything was great. But I have my top 3 documentaries of all time that I haven't see anything else. The Velvet Underground.
Would you like to announce those right now, Jose?
They're coming in hot.
Wait. But the Velvet Underground one that came out like a year ago, I hate it.
Okay.
Hates it.
I was about to bookmark it. Okay.
He zigged, and then he's
no. It looks.
He's gonna love it, and he just hated it.
I know. You're building up to it. I get it.
No, because look, it's when you love. I was talking with Stunty, the Stunt Rock Confusion, the other day about documentaries. And I think when you know as little as possible or just a little about a band, you enjoy a documentary way more.
That's how I was on that Zappa one because I knew of Zappa. I knew just enough to be an active listener in conversations with guys who really knew about the subject matter and source material. But for a deep, it sounds like Jose for a deep Zappa head.
Yeah, because you're gonna
thing. It's just kind of like nice. But
it's like when you see a movie that's based on a book and you're like, they didn't talk about this, or this character was not like this, or it's always that. So the Velvet Underground one was weird because they talked so much about just 2 of the 4 members of the band, and Sterling Morrison did anything else, nothing else, not a single track outside of the Velvet Underground. They talked about him so little. And I want to know more about him. And then Maureen Tucker, the drummer, she did a bunch of stuff, and she's still alive, and they did some interviews, and she's there. But it just felt like Lou Reed Fest, which I'm a huge Lou Reed Fest. I'm a huge John Cale fan. But it was this much that I didn't know that was on the documentary. and a lot of footage that was really not that new. And Nico was talked about, but then they only talked really about the first record, and then the first record without her, and then it was just like, oh, they loaded and boom, that's it. I wanted more about like Doug Yule was one of the members that the member that came after John Cale left. He was not interviewed because he said that he didn't want to be interviewed, but still like talk a little bit more about him. And he did a record under the Velvet Underground. Monique, it's called Squeeze. I want to know about that. You know, it's like the Bastard record, but I want to know about it. If you're doing a documentary in a band, cover the good, the bad, and the ugly, but they didn't do it.
I mean, you really hit on something too, though, which is, I think, a lot of those, they're gonna, if they, especially now, they're probably dumping a ton of money into these things. They do a bunch of fanfare. They assume that a lot of people don't know a lot of the story. They're going to probably disappoint diehards, right? Like you said, because I think the alternative is that they dig too deep, and then the average person who's interested, they're going to lose them. Probably, right? They're just going to be interested in Lou Reed. They're going to be interested in a little bit of the popular albums. They want, Velvet Underground and Nico, and maybe a little deeper than that. But, and like Chance, you said it too. It's like with the Zappa thing too. It's like for people that like me and like sounds like Jose, who I've already watched a lot of those interviews, it was fun to see the ones that are inserted that are new. These are probably videos that were never released. So that stuff was cool. But yeah, then you got a 7.5 for someone that doesn't know, or for someone that is already very familiar with that. With Zappa.
I think that's high. And I don't know if that's the reason why I like the ones that I really love a lot.
Well, so that's what I'm curious about. So what is it about the ones you really love that are different? Especially if these are bands you already knew a lot about.
Well, no, that's one thing that I was going to say. My top one, it's The Devil and Daniel Johnston. I think that's a great documentary. I knew about him. I didn't know a lot of them. But when I watched that, I was like 14, 15 when I watched that documentary. So it catapulted me to wanting to know about him way more. So what I'll say is that one of the reasons that I love about that documentary is that they give him access to everything. Everything, like family stuff, interview with the parents that were still alive. He was still alive. His room, the cassettes that he had, this era, interviews with like a bunch of bands. And they didn't go for like the biggest names. They weren't like, hey, Sonic Youth knew about him like a little bit. Let's do that. I mean, it was done such in a good way that if you see it, it just feels like a movie. So if you don't know anything about Daniel Johnston, I would recommend it just because it's a great documentary. It feels like, as far as music documentaries go, I think that's like a must, just for the mere fact that anyone has a Daniel Johnston cover. Wilco, Beck, Tom Waits, like anyone you want has a cover by him. And which they had a cover album called Late Daniel Johnston when he was still alive. That was funny. But I just think that one's pretty good. I like the Stooges one. I don't know if anybody saw that one. There was a Stooges one made by Jim Jarmusch that I thought was pretty good. I wouldn't put it near as that. That's like a 7.5 again. But yeah, the Daniel Johnston one is pretty much one of my favorite ones. But again, I think that a good documentary should, if there's not a lot of great footage that you are putting out there for fans, it's just going to be a little more niche to people that are trying to get into the band again and all that. So,
Yeah, and that's true. I don't want to imply that the only criteria is like, trying to serve the casual, but yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. Directing and just, the editing and how it's put together, access, like you said, in terms of like how much new footage and information do you have? Are people still alive that knew the artists and that kind of thing? So yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. Do you guys want to just jump into quickly any 2023 things that you guys have snagged this year that stand out, that are new to you, that you're stoked to add to the collection?
Well, hang on, Jason, I got one for you.
Okay.
So I should probably hide. So actually, one of the best albums I picked up this year is a reissue, and it says "Talking Heads Stop Making Sense."
Oh, nice. Okay.
But my local just my local just came back in stock. So flip you very much. I turned this back in for a nice little profit going out tomorrow to my customer. But that one to me was one of the best.
Flip you very much.
Flip you very much. Hey, listen, I mean, it was there. I was there. I bought one to keep.
What are you going to do? You can't leave it behind. I mean,
yeah. And listen, there are people. Well, here, this is my community service. That album's going for over $100 easy on Discogs. There's two different pressings. There's like a PCP and there's a one from Optimal. I don't know which one that is. I disclosed it in my listing. I sold it for below 100. I mean, yeah. I could have been like, hey, top dollar, but anyway. So to me, to answer your question, that's definitely one of the, for me, top pickups sound wise. Now I already had an original, but this comes with this like booklet, and it's on two. I forget if the original was on two. I don't remember, but anyway.
So I hear a lot of people talking about that one. It's funny because when I hear Stop Making, I have some earlier Talking Heads, which I love.
Sure.
Remain in Light, and I forget the other one.
Self-titled, probably the red cover with the green font.
It's the one that has "This Must Be the Place" on it.
Creatures.
Hang on. I know
it
it's
is Creatures. It's
hang on.
Right around 79 and 80. To me, I love that era, and I do like the stuff on Stock Making Sense too. But I was really surprised at that one. And is it just because the rarity? Because when I started hearing, like, it's just been a hot topic. So
well, it's also because the fact that he includes all the songs from the movie.
Yeah, that is neat because there was it 3? They omitted 3 from the original, and this one had
Heaven was definitely not there, which is my favorite song from the movie. Because
speaking in tongues,
there you go.
I like it more than the studio version.
Well, and they even have the Tom Tom Club song in there, right? Like that was they omitted, right? Yeah, so that was fun. Yeah. So yeah, so number one, I would say that would be Jose. You want to go round robin? What?
Yeah, let's just do round robin.
Of these two, I'll put it at the same time. I got him at the Austin Record Fair.
Yeah.
I have new music that I would show, but just to be honest with myself, the 2 records that when I saw, I was like extremely happy to get was these 2, because this record you don't see it. It's not in print. I think for men with cash in their pockets. What's that label?
4 men with beards. Yes.
I think they reissued it a little back ago, but it's like crap. And so I was really happy. I told Chance the second we were going to go in, I'm going to look for this record.
We're in the lobby, and she's like, "Is there anything that you're looking for?" And before I don't even think I said I could. It was like, who shot first, Han or Greedo? Before I could even shoot, I was like, "This is what I'm looking for." John Cale, and he showed it to me. So, but what's funny, and Jose, I don't know if I told you this, but like 2 weeks after the show, after Austin, one of my locals had it.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, so I was like, so anyway, it was serendipitous because I knew of the record very casually.
You want to flippy that record? You would.
Yeah, I'm in semi-retirement from my flipping since they changed the tax laws. But I did.
You know what was interesting is that if this is the map for the Austin Records Fair, we enter here, and my idea was instead of doing this right the normal way, I said I'm gonna go to the end of the fucking thing. And then work my way back, and none of these people had it to like this guy here.
That's right. That's the map. That
was one of the first guys. One of the first guys that were there had it.
See, I have this theory that like it wouldn't have mattered where you started; it would have been at the end.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's like when you're trying to get in line at the grocery store. No matter you get into the shortest line, you're still going to be the last to check out.
And the same guy had this. This is a Nico record again. Velvet Underground related. That's why I'm mad about that documentary. This was an incredible grail that I was looking for because it's a record that goes somewhere for like $150, and with the European shipping as an extra. Because that's something that I really hate sometimes. It's like you find a record that's $30 and you're like, oh nice, and then you see that the shipping is $25. or 20 from
Mhm.
Europe, and it's always like, oh crap. One time I got someone in France to ship a record to me for $4, and it was because they sent it up in an envelope.
Oh no! How did
And
that arrive?
yeah, I still have it. I don't know what.
And it didn't like get annihilated.
It sort of did in one corner, but it was
Oh
not
well,
as
one corner. I
horrible.
mean, consider yourself lucky
Yeah, I
if
was
it
gonna
came in an
say
envelope.
that's a
Yeah,
win.
I don't know where it is right now. I'll look it for later. But it was something that I really wanted. It was a record from my country pressed in France, so I wanted just for the rarity of it.
Mhm.
But it was weird. So when I saw this guy had these two records, and he had this one that I think I pull it up. Oh, here, this one. But I didn't buy this one from him. This is Allen Ginsberg, the beat poet. This is a great record. Arthur Russell is in here playing cello. They do like a take on the Clash, like I Fought the Law on the Law One. It's but the song's called "Do the Meditation Rock." So it's pretty nice. But the guy had it all, and I had some records that I came in, to try to see if I could change it with someone. So I paid nothing for this one, and I only paid $30 for this one. When again it goes for like 100. So
Jose brought records to do the time-honored tradition of bartering. So he was leveraging some records he didn't need or had doubles of, and like you said,
he had a
bartered. It's successful barter sitch for sure.
Nice, man.
I would add just quickly to this that this is the year that I've sold more of my own records. This is the year that I've sold. Like 4 years ago, I sold 80% of my metal records that I still owned. Like a bunch of like Sodom and records that were like expensive. I had like first pressings of a lot of Judas Priest stuff. Never listened to them. Like I think I've never played it once. So I was just like, well, I'll get rid of them. But this year, I think I did like 200 records. Is my camera flipping? Yeah, right. No,
You're good.
Jose is what we
so
need
it's
to
like
do.
it's like 200.
We need to build a tunnel. We need to build a tunnel, and here's why: because they changed these tax laws on me. So my flipping status, which for years would flip records to subsidize the bigger. I mean, we all do it, right? But this year they're really cracking down on that tax code. Last year was a false start. They said it, so I quit selling about September, and then they're like, "Oh no, we're going to put it in next year." So I could have been selling for the rest of the year.
Oh,
this year, well, and I think it went because it's such a departure. It was I think up to $10,000 for like a hustle job. Now it's $600 before you have to declare it on time. It's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So anyway, so Jose, we're going to build a tunnel, and then I'm going to get these records to you, and you're going to sell them, and then you can escape the tax laws that they're really beating us up with here.
Well, what you got to do, you got to build a tunnel to Portland too, because then you don't have to pay sales tax.
Well, I know that's what. Listen, I outside of going to the campus for the mothership in Beaverton, yes, I would love getting records up there because there was no sales tax. I'd bring the big suitcase every time.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
But what I do have here, it's PayPal fees, so that sucks ass.
Even more than 3%. So it's usually it's in the States it's 3%. What's it for you? 3%
for PayPal?
Yeah.
But it's 3% plus US transferring to pesos.
Oh, yeah.
So, like for example, I just
stop the construction on the tunnel, boys. We're not going to do it that way.
No, but I could just put pesos as my currency in Discogs, and that would solve the problem. But the reason I don't is because people look at it and they're like, "What the fuck is that pesos?"
It's a deterrent. It's a deterrent.
What is that?
You gotta listen to USD. No, it's true.
Yeah. So when I
didn't know that.
Yeah, people really.
So it doesn't just do the conversion on its own. Like you enter in whatever local conversion or domestic you put in there is going to be the one that shows up first.
No,
Oh,
no, no.
okay.
So you can have like pesos.
You can select your currency you want to sell it in. But what Jose's saying is like if I was looking and say Jose had a record, if he listed pesos, even though it's the record I'm looking for,
right, and you're in the U.S.,
I would know it's international shipping. It would tell me immediately there's going to be more to this than I really want to deal with.
Right.
And honestly, I've shipped records to Mexico, and it's a big production, so I know as a seller, I'm not going to play there. So Jose, if not take words out of your mouth, Jose is just going straight to USD, and then
that's
but
the
he's
thing.
taking on the back end on the currency conversion, though, right?
On my label, I always charge in pesos because what people charge me, it's always a lot less. Because if not, it was US to pesos, and but US with the PayPal fees, and then transferring to pesos, which is their conversion rate plus, like, I think it's like 2% more just for the fees. So it was horrible. So for example, I just sold a record. It was a soundtrack, and I sold it for $105. But to what I got in pesos, I think it was like $60.
huh?
So that's horrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's horrible because that's $40 that including the shipping. So it's horrible. So what I normally try to do is just tell the people, hey, can we do it outside of PayPal? If they send me a message with, hey, would you do $20 less? I'll be yes, but let's do it outside with pesos, because if not, I'm not gonna do it. That's why it's horrible. One time I sold, I think the most expensive thing I ever sold on Discogs was like almost $500. What I lost from the conversion was $100.
That's
20%. You lost 20% on the deal. That's terrible.
It was like 1,800 pesos. It's horrible.
Yeah.
So that was not even just for the PayPal thing, the Discogs thing. It was the PayPal conversion rate. So I tried telling the guy, hey, I have the thing, but I really don't want to sell it because I just, and so can I give you the money back and you can send it? So he thought it was like scammy sounding that I want to do all this process. Because that's the thing. People always ask me, like, I hope this is not a scam. It's like, why would it be a scam? They're like, I have 100% on my Discogs page as a seller. So why would it be a scam? I don't get it. Just because it's a third world country, people are like, oh, what is this?
I don't know. In fairness to them, I mean, there's so much fraud and nonsense going on Discogs right now that
especially through Discogs. Discogs not going to protect their buyers at all. So you got to go through PayPal every single time, which is a big issue. I mean, I've had to do it probably 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Let me just real quickly. Sorry, we get right back to it. But for the 4 people that are watching right now, stick around. We're going to be giving this record away. Led Zeppelin 4 Japanese pressing with the beautiful Obi strip. Make sure that read the bottom if you haven't already gone to the link that is in the comments right now, that's pinned up there, and left hashtag lead in the comment section on that video, which I know sounds confusing, but I'm going to pull all of those comments out and we're going to draw a winner from that video. So make sure you're set up for that. Coming soon to a theater near you. Sorry, Jose, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that. I mean, it's just weird to me. I've never sold anything on eBay, but I've gone back to buying on eBay because I've found a lot of good deals on eBay, and I really don't mind eBay. I don't know why it's put down so much, because you can actually see the photos of what you're buying. You can make an offer on the record, and shipping is normally like $4. So I've going back a little bit to buying on eBay and trusting eBay a little more. Because
they have a good buyer protection too, and so that I'm almost more willing to take a risk. And you're right, like I think it gets a bad rap in the sense that people think of Discogs as like the people that are selling on Discogs know what they're doing more. They know how to grade and also. Although I would question that, but I can see why they kind of get that perception. It's perceived that way, and sometimes You bring up a good point, because first of all, you can at least see photos on eBay.
Yes.
Although some of them might be crap, right? They're blurry.
Yeah.
You can't really see anything, and they're dark sometimes. And I've actually gotten some good deals that way, because a lot of people will avoid them. And if you pounce on it, you can get something really good.
Yep.
Why aren't they doing that on Discogs? Like, that is kind of the one big deal, is like, it's just a generic photo and you just have to, go off the description. It's always a risk. Buying vinyl, used vinyl, has to be like the biggest risk. I don't know about you guys, but my return rate on like buying vinyl online is like 20%. Like I've gotten so many records, and it comes in spurts. It's like I feel like I'll order a bunch of records for like a month, and they all come in like overgraded or whatever you want to say, and then sometimes you get really nice stuff, but anyway, sorry, not to interrupt,
in that mix, Jason, what would you say? What is it, mainly overgrading, undergrading, or is it they've got the wrong type? Like I had one I just got yesterday that was Columbia House pressing, not the one I thought I was buying. I thought I was buying the general public one. People make a mistake. If they just would have scanned the barcode, they would have told them that. But regardless, it's a shop, and so it was a $16 record. It's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, just give me back my shipping costs. We'll call it that kind of thing. That happens to me more than not. Is people not reading the matrix or not? Like I had it on the BC Boys Ill Communication first press. I was skeptical, and then when it came in,
Discogs.
Yeah, Discogs, yeah. And so when it came in, sure as shit, second pressing. And
I've had the same thing.
Yeah. So what would you say?
Different labels
overgrading for you though? Is it, what do you experience the most?
Well, I think you're right. I think on Discogs, it's usually the wrong pressing. It's just been listed under the wrong, the wrong album, and it'll be even the labels different. Sometimes it's fairly dramatic, and you think, man, how did that not get caught? But whatever. Not everyone out there is like a record store that has sold millions of records. Some of these people are just selling off their collections and stuff. But I think on eBay, it's been more often than not where this is a solid, excellent, near mint, and then you get it and it skips or something. And it's like, I bought, and it's funny because it's certain albums. I was trying to get a first pressing of Thriller, the one, the MJ, lack of the credit, all that stuff.
Right. It's only Quincy on there. Yep.
It took me like 4 tries, and because of either condition, it was set. They said it was an original, which it wasn't, and stuff like that. Finally, I got one. So anyway, some albums are just like that. I think they're just harder to catalog.
When it's more common records, it's harder to get the pressing you're being told that it is. Yeah. I always ask for photos. Sometimes it doesn't work. When, for example, I remember I was trying to buy a cassette that was like a demo, a Beck cassette that's called Banjo Story. So that's an incredibly rare cassette that I think he made like 10 copies of before.
That sounds like something that could be pretty easily bootlegged, right? I mean, a rare cassette like that.
Yeah, but what happened with this one was that I asked for photos. And I, instead of going with my gut and just like putting in the order and not paying it, because that takes out the record on Discog.
Yeah.
And then I asked for the photos.
That's my new one, Jose. If in doubt, if it's something I know is rare, I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and buy it, but I won't pay for it. I'll send them a note, and if it's on me, like I will totally like apologize or whatever. But I've been burned too many times by like rare records. And I send them an email, and I'm like, "Hey, can you send me pictures?" And then somebody buys it out from under me. So I'd rather have that conversation after I've locked into it. That's exactly. It's a great strategy.
That is a pro tip, man. That's a cheat code. I like that.
No, I will tell you, because what happened was that the guy sent me the email, and he said, "You just missed out," because I told him like, "Hey, here's my email." And what happened was that somebody else did what I did. And he sent me, here's the photos so you see that it was not a scam. And he sent me the photos, and it was the actual cassette. And he got me like even a photo of like Beck from like 92, 91, some stuff like that. And it was really interesting. And he told me that he sold it to someone that bought some other stuff off of him as a bulk, but it was not on Discogs. So I think there's not a sell on Discogs because of that. And it's just sometimes it's weird. It's So my suggestion would be like, if it's something that is really rare and you think it's a scam, or if you think it's too good to be true, or you just really want it, but sometimes what they put in, it's really weird. Sometimes like doesn't skip near mint. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck?
And there's a people, and this is what I said before on one of the streams, is like, you need to be grading more, just grade down if you need to. I can't remember the word that I used.
Grading down.
Downgrading, yeah, always downgrading.
Yeah,
always,
and oftentimes it's almost like they're trying to hedge their bets, almost be manipulative in a way, in the sense, like, I don't know how many times you see like scratches does not affect play, right? DNAP.
Yeah.
You guys see that around? It's like, yes, it does. It's like, I don't know what you're listening to this thing on, but I can hear the scratches. You know what I mean? Well, it's like, what does that mean?
Look, I just bought this record, which is an incredibly rare record. This is like the Mexican Woodstock. It's called September 11, really, from 1971, Vibraciones. But this is an incredible record. I bought it. The guy was like, it's mint. It's like, you won't believe how mint it is. So I got it, and the actual record does look mint.
You're right. I won't believe it.
But when you play it, the first few songs, which are probably like the most famous ones, has like background noise. So I sent the guy a message. I didn't buy this on Discogs. I bought it like on the same I saw the guy that I bought it. It's been like brewing for like 2 years. It's such a rare record. And I thought it was gonna be a scam, so I wanted to meet the guy. I went to Mexico City and meet the guy. And the guy was like, well, for the amount of years that it has, it's in perfect shape.
Oh yeah, I've heard that one.
And that's what I was talking like I think yesterday with Fred in another live stream. We were talking about that. It's like, it's supposed to be VG plus, doesn't matter how old it is.
Exactly.
But a lot of people that are selling records because somebody in his neighborhood or a friend told him that records are now expensive are grading the records based on pretty much nothing. So near mint doesn't sound really that good as much as very good plus, because what's, you know what I mean? It's like it just whatever. But people,
well, they're like, there's no chips in it. So yeah, I mean,
near mint. Like, well, this is 50 years old. Like it's you know, so
yeah,
you know, it's that thing. And Cesar will know mostly than anybody else that in Latin America, when you buy a record, 95% of the time people are overgrading. They're saying this is mint condition, and it's just
minty fresh, yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, so it's just a bizarre thing. In the US, I think people are more aware of how to grade stuff, but in Latin America, again, it's just sometimes it's a guy that has 3 records.
Right.
So Jason, what we were saying earlier, when you see pesos, run, because now you're
no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Sometimes you get lucky. Like I've gotten like first press of a bunch of stuff. You know, I got a My Bloody Valentine first press.
And that's what keeps you coming back, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's that time where you just nailed that sweet. It's like, oh man, it's just such a good feeling, right?
100%. And especially
like this right here. Sorry, but just, let me do my round robin real quick, and then we'll jump back on. And so this is a Japanese press from 1973, I think. This was on eBay. This has the peelable banana. It's all intact and everything. It sounds amazing. This is one of those ones that has a really high,
is it stereo or mono?
This is stereo.
All right.
So yeah, sorry. Don't hang up on me. No, but it sounds beautiful. And so, but this is one where it was bad pictures, not a great description and stuff like that. And it was an auction, not a buy it now, which I love to see. I ended up snagging this for like, I think $35. This thing's going in this condition. This is probably like $150 album or something. So this is one of my 2023 snags that, yeah, I'm super happy to have it. So
what's the other one?
Well, some of the other ones are just sort of nothing like that, but like this right here, I just got recently. This is just for the music. This is Circle One. And this is Chick Corea's band that he had for, I don't know if you guys didn't see that, but he had a band for like 2 years, 1970, 1971. where they put out like 4 or 5 live albums. So there might be some studio albums in there too, but if you like jazz, if you like avant-garde, if you like piano, this is kind of a piano trio plus one. One of the instrumentalists plays like sax and bass clarinet and stuff like that. But if you're into like a little more detailed music, a little bit more introspective music, a little bit more like complex music, this thing right here is just unbelievable. It's beautiful. It's not the kind of avant-garde like, a lot of people can't deal with Eric Dolphy because his stuff just seems so abstract. This isn't like that. It's very musical, but it's just very complex. So anyway, I was super stoked to grab that. Nice Japanese pressing with the Obi strip. Yeah, the other one, and might as well bring up Frank Zappa too. This will be my last one, but this is Joe's Camouflage, which this was not a regular issued album for or an official release on vinyl. I'm 99% sure. This came out on like CD and streaming. This is on white vinyl. What's interesting about this one on Discogs is that how they don't, if it's not an official release or if it's a bootleg, they'll list it, but they won't let you sell on Discogs, right? Mm-hmm. That's been my experience.
You're not supposed to. Yeah.
This one there's like maybe 4 releases of this on vinyl, and one of them, for whatever reason, slipped through the cracks. And so this one is available. Anyway, I love this. It's just kind of like outtakes, and it's a band that never actually recorded. They just did a bunch of stuff in Zappa's, studio and stuff. And they obviously recorded, but it was never released. So this is that record. So it's really cool.
I'm looking for a record that I wanted to show you that I think was actually the best one that I found, but it's one of those things that you sometimes think it's too good to be true. And I've gone through like weird lengths of my life.
If you pull that Rodney Dangerfield record, Jose, I'm out of here.
No, this is the French record that I was telling you. So all that happened, it's just a ding corner, but it was not as horrible. So for a mailer from France to here, I don't think that's bad. So I was happy for that. But no, let me look for that record. No, it's a Chalino Sanchez record that I got. Maybe I need to get up to look for it. But sometimes it's weird to get records here because here it is. So this is the best find that I got this year. This is
I remember you showing that before, I think. Yeah.
This is a $500 record. But I'll tell you quick the story of how I got it. I saw somebody post it on Facebook, which is not the best way to get records, believe me. And I've got scammed like 3 times already looking for this guy's records.
Scammed how?
Because this is the second time I've ever seen one of this guy's records. It's incredibly rare, extremely rare, super rare. And they appeal not to everybody, but because he's like a Tupac but with regional music from here. He's from Sinaloa. It's very sought after. There's some records from him that goes like more than $1,000, $1,500, maybe $2,000 if it's sealed.
Wow.
So what's weird was that somebody posted it and he said he wanted 1,000 pesos, which is like $50, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like sketchy as fuck. So I noticed that somebody was in.
But you gotta investigate it just in case, right?
No, but it was super weird. It was like the guy said he was in Durango, which is not that far away from here. That's like 8 hours, perhaps. Well, that's a little far. But I was not gonna go, But it was almost to that point that I was like, this is such a good record that I might just go. I don't even have a car. I was gonna hop in a bus and go get it. But because it's so, it's so weird. It's so weird. So what I did happen was that I only know one guy from Durango, but he lives here. So I literally asked, hey, you know anybody over there that could help me? So he got a friend of his from his, one of his best friends that still live over there, that to go and meet up with that guy. So he sent me his contact and he helped me. But I thought, man, what happens if this guy gets killed, beaten, robbed? It's gonna be my fucking fault for a piece of plastic that plays music. I was like, I I wouldn't be here. I'll be like depressed and I'll be talking about how somebody died because of a record. I'll be like, so I was scared. And the guy wanted to meet up.
Yeah, you don't want that on your tombstone, man.
Yeah, he wanted to meet like in a weird place and stuff like that. And then I told him, no, let's meet up in a FedEx office. And on Thursdays, the records are 95 pesos. That's like $5 for national shipping everywhere on FedEx. So I think that's pretty cool. National, it will be like a little less, half, like $2, but it's FedEx. It's gonna be like $2, and they arrive the next day. So my friend meets him. He sends me the photos. I can't believe it. It's actually true. That guy pays him. The record arrives the next day. So it was like the best transaction that I've ever had for a rare record. Because you don't expect it. You don't expect to find a $500 record for $50 at another state. And the guy was super chill. He was like, can you please give me good feedback on Facebook? Because people think I have like good records, but they think I'm a scammer. And I was like, man, just price your records better. I don't know, because
right.
So anyways, because in the US you have the advantage that you're paying PayPal for records.
Right.
Over here, you do have PayPal, but people don't use it as much because the banks are so easy to deposit money, because you can go to 7-Eleven, something called here OXXO, which is whatever, the same thing as 7-Eleven, and you can pay anything: plane tickets, bus, internet, water, light, and banks. You can transfer money like on cash. So a lot of people have like burner cards because you don't even have to give them the name of the person in the bank account. So some people are just like, hey, deposit money for me and I'll ship the record to you. So, Louis. So it's so weird to get records here, because that's such a greater because you can just be like, hey, this was a scam, please bank, give me the money. You can't do that here.
As being someone that's never been to Mexico, and like it seems like every story I hear is similar to that. Like, I hate to say it, I have a real preconceived like idea of like not wanting to want anything to do with Mexico, man. I hate to say it, it's just like I hear so many stories, and a lot of people I know obviously a lot of people love it. They want, vacations and stuff, but it's been drilled into my head, you know what I mean?
No, it's not really like that. It's just really for the record. There's another website here called Mercado Libre, which is like eBay here, and it's pretty chill to get records. It's mostly just Facebook Market stuff, because I don't know about you guys, but I go to Facebook Market and I put in like another. Even in the US, I go like Seattle
location.
And I look for records.
Location, yeah.
And I bought a lot. I've got like Macy Star like first pressings from the UK, as people thinking they were like represses.
So Jose's going into our backyards, Jason, literally in Facebook Marketplace, and out hustling us.
Yes,
and where we live. This is why there's no records in the St. Louis Facebook Marketplace.
Why they need a border
hustling. Come on, man. Come on, man. Leave us some chicken on the bone, man.
Yeah, man. I just think that it's such a great way to get records sometimes in the US, but over here, again, not the best, because it has its advantages that doesn't work for you. So no, you don't have anything to worry about. I was just here in Mexico City, and I'd never seen Mexico City so clean and nice and everything. The problem with Mexico City with the record stores, because there's way too many record stores near each other in Mexico City, is that 60% of them are all new records. So I don't, because there's a law here that it's really gray area to sell used records.
Well, just really quick, since we're on the topic, I know we want to, I'm sure. By the way, for everyone that's on right now, and also for my two guests / co-hosts, I just want to apologize. Being on all the way on the left coast, you lose sight of the fact that everyone else is supposed to be sleeping when you go live on stream, man. And I appreciate you guys being here, first of all, 100%. I will correct that. I don't know what I just, for whatever reason, we started at 7 when I first started streaming, and I just never got it through my thick skull. So thank you for being here. Thank you to everyone that's watching. Thank you to my 2 co-hosts. We will jump on earlier next time. But just real quick too is on that note is talking about all the different places you can buy records. Something I've known about for a while, but just started sticking my toes in the water. And in fact, I even made a banner for it. What about Whatnot? Have you guys checked that out? Because I started checking out Whatnot a couple weeks ago, dude. And before I knew it, I was, I think that is like sneaky money. Before you know it, dude, it's like, when you were young and you were drinking those flavored, vodkas and stuff, you didn't even, it's like that. So have you guys bought on Whatnot? What do you guys think about that?
Jose, you start on this one.
Well, I'll be quicker than anybody. I saw that shit. I was like, no way, no way. I try to go see Dylan's, and I've seen the Ingram.
Yep, Sundays.
And it's just like, there's a record, and then some guys are like $250.
Yeah, I stay out of those channels. Yeah,
sure. those are that's big hunting right there.
And the fact that if I get charged immediately for the record, and the shipping scares me, because there's no like second guessing. It's not like you get a record. It's like you bought the record. Screw you.
Oh, they totally feed off FOMO, right? You don't even have time. You don't really know what pressing it is. It's like, okay, we're gonna set 20 seconds on this, and you're like scrambling to get to Discogs or whatever to try to,
Well, to be fair, at least Dylan does put like a list of the records, most or if not some.
If you go in advance, if you go into the inventory, you can do a little preliminary research to see at least.
Yes, good point.
So that helps. That does help. But,
it helps, but at the same fact, you have a number in your head.
I don't know if I would buy $250 albums. I think I bought like a $12 album, some $5. I like going to the channels that have like 5 viewers. You know what I mean?
You're sniping.
I'm a bottom feeder. You know what I mean?
I would 100% be down for that. But yes, again, for Dylan and the Ingram, most records, I would confidently say 80% of the records go for more than $50.
Yeah,
and it's just like whatever pressing. It's just like, it's just a mind-boggling whatever.
It's that FOMO. It's like gambling.
I bought a VHS, a Twin Peaks VHS from a guy. You know how much I paid? I paid $1. So I don't have no FOMO whatsoever. There was like 2 guys watching. It was me and a guy who bought a Gremlin VHS, and I bought that. But I just think that and yes, I said, please don't have negative things about Latin America. It's a very
this is a tourism minute brought to you by Jose and Cesar.
Yeah, it was a little tongue in cheek, but honestly, it was funny. The picture you're painting, I was like, okay, don't buy records.
No, but that was in the record thing. But I was trying to be, it's like it's safer to just pay people in the U.S. because you're paying. I don't know how you would feel if somebody tells you, this is my Chase account, go and deposit me money. I don't know, because that's not normally what happens, but here it's like, here's my bank account, go and deposit me money. And so
we accept kidneys.
But no, to be honest, it's just, I think that Whatnot, it's extremely dangerous if you're on a budget. I don't know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm glad. I know people in the U.S. like, I'm always glad when I see people like, well, this is my hole, and it's like, man, I have a job, and every dollar counts in my house. And I know I got a shitload of records here, but every time I buy a record, I feel like shit. I'm like, oh shit, whatever. And it arrives, and I try to play it like 5 times just so I feel like, oh look,
you got your money's worth. Yeah.
Right.
So
that's why I said a dangerous addiction, because it does. It's one of those where you can easily lose track too. And once you get on there, and if you have your notifications set to on, now you're getting notifications, and it's like, I gotta see what's
burden and the curse. Because I do like what we were talking about before. You could go into a store's inventory even when they're live and see is there anything you're interested in, and you can set a reminder so you don't have to be active.
Yeah,
right. But you have to be active near your device, because when that comes up, like you said, Jason, you've got 20 seconds or less to for the device to log you in, for you to see it, for you to evaluate the
because it goes in order, right? It has an order. You put it like
they can pick because some people will take requests, like Dylan, for example. Like he'll have his list and say, like, tell me what you guys want, and they'll say Talking Heads Stop Making Sense, and he'll go ahead and pull that up to the queue and do it then. So
that's fine. But again, if you're going to go to a record affair and you're going to buy a $400 record, that's fine. You're actually looking at it and you're buying it and consciously think. But if you're just buying a reissue that's going for like $25 on Amazon or on their own website or on their own store, and people are buying it at $60 just for the fucking fact that you're buying it from.
So Inside Baseball, friend of a friend, has talked to Dylan exactly about that. And asked him, like, hey, you're selling reissues on there and people are paying 2-3 time markup. And Dylan's like, yeah, at first I felt bad about it, but like, it's what they want. And Dylan even told this friend of mine, like, yeah, the reason that they're buying it, they tell me, is like, yeah, I can get it on Amazon, but like, I just like supporting you. And like, I just think it's cooler that it's coming from your shop. You know what I mean? So but that's where social proof is kind of dangerous, because talking about Sunday, the in-groove auction, like I will check them out just to see if there's some real cool shit in there. But some of the prices, that, to your point, Jose, that was some real big game hunting. And listen, I'm not naive. I go big game hunting for things I'm looking for. But I mean, like title after title after title was $200, $300, $400, $700. I saw one go for $700. $700.
And it's almost like the more efficient you are, like the more you can catch people, because I did watch his too. And it's like, he goes from one to the next, boom. Now we're on to this. Now we're on to this. And it's like, you don't even have time to think or ask questions or anything. So it's like, you got to jump in. One cool thing I will say is that I love that they have giveaways. And the first time ever I won something.
Hey,
it's a scratched up 45 record that I'm never going to listen to, of Cruel Summer by Bananarama. But you know what? It's just the fact that I saw my name pop up, baby. It was like
good. Did you feel good. So after you won? Did you feel inspired to like just throw a $5 and get a $5 record from the same? No, I'm serious. It
was $10.
Well, no. So you did buy a $10 record from the same?
I did. See? Well, check this out. So I did it in the perfect order, and I didn't know this, but now I do. Here's a cheat code. If you win something, you get free shipping, but it counts towards your first record of shipping. So let's say this was $5 shipping. The next one's 96 cents. I bought a $10 record and got 96 cents shipping because I'd won something first. So that is, I'd say that's a pro tip. So if you win something, buy something, because you're going to save on shipping.
Interesting.
All right. How's your guys' timing? I feel like I don't want to like monopolize your time. I know it's late where you guys are. Are you guys?
Yeah, that's fine.
Are you in the groove, or do you want to? What do you think?
I can go another 10 to 15 for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, cool.
Plus, you got the giveaway, right? So we got
the giveaway, and we'll be fast on that. We'll get a winner, and then we'll jam.
I will just, as a final thought, would say that it's great on all of the platform exists. It's not for me. Kudos to anybody that uses it. It seems that if you are selling, you're doing great on that.
And especially if you get a lot of people coming into your, if you have a YouTube channel that you can promote it on, I mean, that's free money.
NTX Vinyl, GI does that pretty well. Like even In-Groove, I forgot where I saw the comment. Somebody was giving him Mike shit about not selling used on his site. And he doesn't sell used. He has used records up there, but he hasn't updated that page in weeks.
He has all whatnot.
Stuff. I didn't even know he sold used.
I remember before the pandemic or during the pandemic, he had this. This is a Swans record. He had this box set that I bought out on Amazon, but I bought it for $50, but it was going for like $200, and he had it there when it started going up. And I messaged him, and he never replied. But it was a record. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. It's funny because you would think, hey, you want to sell something, yeah.
Between us, I've tried sending messages to Mike more than once. They've never replied. Anyways, what I will say, it's just I'm glad that people are getting money from that. but as a consumer, I just see people spending like crazy, and I don't know if it's worth it for most of them. If it's something that you really want, for example, if I would have seen any of these two records that I show you, like if I saw any of these two on the Whatnot and it was going for like $100, I would probably bid on them because I really wanted them. But I know what they go for.
Right. And you have a limit. You're not going to go, even if you go up to or just barely over that line because you do want it, something you've been chasing for a while.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind because I've sometimes paid knowingly that the record it's like $10, $20 more, but I'm there and whatever.
But when you're talking 2, 3, 4 times what it normally goes for, that's the leveraging of the social proof, the FOMO, all these psychological triggers that we're kind of talking about, and that's to that point. That's why, like, I will go in there, I'll look, I'll peruse these little shops and see if they have anything I'm interested in, and if I don't get it, I don't get upset, or if I set a reminder and I take a grandpa nap and I miss it, I mean, oh well, you know what I mean? Like it's just another day.
Yep. Yes. All right. Go ahead and say sorry.
No. That was it. That was just like, so beware. If you don't know what it is, whatnot, beware of it. If you're looking for cash and you want to sell some,
and if you're looking for, if you've never used it before, use the code SPINSVINYL for 15%.
There you go.
No, that's what all the sellers do. Is they've got their own little homogenized code that they get a little bit of a rub, and then somebody gets 15% off or whatever it is.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's definitely everything you're saying is right. That's the way I feel about it. It was just so easy. Next thing I knew, I had like 6 records coming to my house, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. What?
I even bought a reissue of the Morgan self-titled record that I already had. And I was like, oh, I got a good deal on it. I paid, what I mean? I was just like, I've already got this. What am I doing? And that's what I knew. I was like, and I even knew ahead of time. I'm like, okay, now this is really, it's making
That's when you're like, there needs to be a 12 step for this because, man, I can't quit.
Right. And they have all your information. So it's not like you can cancel the order or tell them, oh, I'm sorry, my bad. They charge it and they're on to Ship Town at that point.
Yep, 100%. All right, guys, let's get everyone to bed. If you haven't already hashtag led into the video, the original video that I posted this record on, the giveaway, the link is pinned in the comment section. Let me give you guys about, I don't know, 2 more minutes. Let's do 2 more minutes, and then we're going to draw this just to make sure everyone's in there. And it's 8:22 where I am. We'll do 8:24. We're going to do this drawing.
As Chuck Woolery would say, we'll be back in 2.
You read my mind, dude. I almost did it. I left it for you. Oh man, dude.
Jose, did you end up getting that Chileno Vinyl Me Please from Arnaldo? Oh, unless he took away. Wow.
Oh, let me take this. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. Go rip it.
I forgot to mention today is I actually started a podcast. I haven't even told Chance yet. I wasn't even going to say anything. There's just 1 episode up there right now. But if you search Spins Vinyl on Spotify or Apple podcasts, you'll see my first podcast.
Who are you hosting it through?
Oh my God. I don't even remember. I just found this host where it's really easy to distribute. You know what? If I start switching tabs, I'm going to lose everything. So I'll let you know offline, but
cool.
And we should talk. I know we talked about that before, but anyway, for anyone that's interested, Spins Vinyl has a podcast. I know Chance, obviously king of the podcast with the whole podcast aggregate and everything like that.
Pauper of the podcast, yes.
No, I've been listening to those, man. They're really good, dude. And I really love that you've been doing a lot of interviews and stuff. And that's something that, I've been wanting to get into now. So don't call me a copycat if I can actually convince a few people to sit with me, but
man. No, it's all good. All good.
Yeah, but it's fun. I just one night I was just up like I've been talking about doing a damn podcast.
Right, you were telling me, you're like, you were thinking about doing it yourself, and because we had talked about you doing stuff on ours, and you're like, I think I'm gonna do my own. All right, man, no pressure.
Well, let's talk about it. I was, I'm exposing this to the whole VC right now, but yeah, I mean, during our first talk, like, I'm a different person now. You know what I mean? I've got a little bit of experience, and stuff. And I've probably got a little more humility in me and everything. Like when I first came out here, I was trying to do everything. I can tie my own shoes. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, let's definitely chat, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so the podcast is up.
Cool.
Sorry, I had to leave. I order food.
Oh, you did?
It's 10:24 here, but I haven't eaten.
So you had a question for
Jose, did you end up getting that Chileno from Vinyl Me Please? I think Arnaldo was your hookup.
Yeah. Well, I have it here.
What do you think? What do you think of the sound quality?
It's great. I haven't told Arnaldo. I probably won't if he sees this. I guess. But
look at this guy. Wow, man. Podzilla right here, man.
That's when I used to wear sunglasses.
Look, it's red. No, I actually I made my own shootout without telling anybody.
Oh, you did your own shootout.
You didn't record it?
Huh?
Jose doesn't really do videos. Jose he shows records to himself, to his dog.
Well, that's what
a waste. You're doing shootout and that's like a tree falling in the woods with no one being there.
It's just me, and I tell my wife, and my wife was like,
"You're okay. You got the thumbs up. All right."
Well, here's why I asked Jose, because I just wrapped an interview with the mastering engineer of that album, Cicely Boston, out of the UK. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
nice.
So podcast plug. Sorry, Jason. I know.
Oh, you're all good, baby. You're all good.
No. She was the mastering engineer. I forget what the actual award is, because
did she told you she had heard about this?
No, I know on my research, because she's doing a lot of stuff for Vinyl Me Please. That's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to her, because she did that. She did.
Oh, you haven't talked to her?
No, I did. I filmed it. I filmed it last week. Comes out, I think, week after next. But anyway, No. She's been doing all these titles for VMP. She did the Busta Rhymes reissue. She did the Young MC reissue. A lot of hip hop stuff, and everything that I've heard that she's been involved in is great. And so I wanted to talk.
Really good.
Yeah, and so she did the Chileno one. Yeah.
You have to understand this is the first time this has ever been reissued in any way since he died. Only like on CD, of course, right? But this is the greatest hits. It's called 15 éxitos, like 15 hits, 15 hits, and it's pretty good. The only thing that I hated was this.
I hate when they put those stupid things in there.
No. But look, it doesn't have any artwork on it. It's just a white thing with a horrible text.
So now I know a little bit more about the story. Do you think that is a reference to the note he got on stage the night he died? No. Okay.
No. I mean, no, that was like
Jason. Have you heard the story about this guy?
No.
Jose, you want me to tell it? You probably tell it better, but I'll tell the American version. I'll tell the gringo, and you tell the real version. So this guy was like an emerging, like call it folk singer, right? Is that?
Yeah, well, it is. It's Mexican folklore, so yeah,
right. And he was like a tough guy too. Like he was like known for like getting in fist fights after gigs and all this kind of stuff. Somehow he ran against the wrong people. It could have been the Mexican mafia, whatever it was, the cartel. But he was in the crosshairs, and so he was performing one night, and somebody handed him a note, and it was a threat.
Ooh.
Like watch your ass or whatever. Nobody knows what was on the note, because there's video of him opening the note.
Really?
Him be like, and then he kept performing, and then he ended up disappearing and being killed that night.
Oh man, that's crazy, dude.
I'll tell you quickly what happened. So he was born in like a little town in the middle of nowhere in Sinaloa, and her sister got molested by this guy. So as it's like imagine somebody in the middle of Texas. There's no law. So what happened was in the 80s, right? In the late 80s.
Yeah, it's like 89 or something.
Yeah. So what happened was that he went to confront this guy, and he ended up killing him. So he, if your sister gets molested, I don't want to say the other word, he get from a guy, you do whatever it takes. But when God,
the way he ended up killing him, it's kind of like, oops.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I think it was not the intention. But when you're like,
really? Okay.
When you're like in a rancho, you have like your gun here and your machete here, right? It's like he was he was a very poor guy. He had like a cattle that he took care of. He had a lot of family. He was the youngest one. So one of his brothers, it sounds like a stereotype what I'm saying. One of his brother was a coyote, the guy that moved people inside the border.
Yeah.
So he moved him to Coachella in California, and he lived there for a lot of years. But he got deported. He married someone there, and he had kids and all that. But when he came back to Mexico, they told him never come back here because if you do, you'll be.
Yep.
So the reason he got killed at the end of the day was because of that killing he did.
Okay.
So it's tied to that. Okay.
He originally, but he originally got like in brawls and he got shot up on stage. He didn't die from that. He was like a legend. And then one
like the 50 Cent of Mexico.
Well, yeah, because when he went to the States is where he got his singing career really off the ground.
And he had one of the worst record deals ever because he became so famous after he died and all that. His family got very little money. But the only interesting thing that I was left saying is that he I don't know, he was a smart guy again, but it was just popular music. He didn't have a good luck in life, but it's not as people would try to say it, but there's actually a little documentary on him on YouTube. But it's so it's extremely weird that Vinyl Me Please did that record. You have no idea. It's like literally like if they just released Irish folk music, like it would
it's sold out too. I mean, they're gonna have to repress that.
So when they released it, what did they like release it with the story? I mean, was it kind of
it's in English and everything. It's
so like, it's okay, I gotcha.
But it's like our friend Jason, he had it in his house. I don't think he's ever going to listen to more like the first record because this type of music, it's called banda. It comes from like polka music from Germany, German immigrants that came to Mexico. They brought their accordion and their instruments and a lot of brass instruments. So it's just weird. It's just weird music that it shouldn't be more popular just here in Mexico and some parts in Latin America. They listen to this, but it shouldn't be that popular. But Vinyl Me Please did it, which is I respect them a lot. They sold out because it was so niche that everybody. I saw record stores here getting that record just to resell it.
Wow!
And they were selling it for like $100 again because the cheapest record you can get for him is like a $500 record.
That's where they went.
So it was like a great record that they, So yeah.
Gotcha. And probably was mostly the story, I bet, though, right? Like you're saying, it's a great record, but it's like it sounds like if you're gonna really, why lead with the the story and everything, and it seems like I don't know. It seems like an interesting way to sell records.
Well, yeah. Well, he's extremely popular right now because I would say that the 2 or 3 best artists that like Spanish speaking artists, it's Peso Pluma, which he was even in Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon. I mean, he's
really
popular enough, and he's probably one of the most sold out artists in the world right now. And then the other guy,
Enrique Iglesias.
Nathaniel Cano, who was also in Jimmy Kimmel Live, like not that long ago. So it's not like unknown stuff. And they sing the same type of music this guy did, which are corridos. So that's why they did it, because it's like niche, but right now it's big enough. After like Bad Bunny, he's like the most popular, the most popular artist. So good for them, and I'm happy they're starting doing that. They also did some other stuff that are
like you say, it's just good that they release it at all if it's something that people are interested in, right? I mean, I don't know. I guess in my mind is like swimming around kind of an exploitation or something. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But it's
they do it with rap music in general. So
right. Yeah.
And that's the first record they did in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
That was not this Buena Vista Social Club.
Right.
So that's weird that they've never done a lot of Spanish. So
it's convenient. It's convenient for sure. Yep.
Yeah. So
like you said, his family's not getting any of the money either. So it's kind of like.
Well, yeah. Well, I think. Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm just happy they're doing more titles in Spanish.
Yeah. I hear you.
I hope they go beyond the stereotypical music because this still is stereotypical.
I thought you were skewing negative, so I kind of jumped in on. Now I'm backpedaling. What a great idea!
So Jose will be picking up the Selena record. You know they're probably going to do.
It's like
in the next year.
It's like if in Europe they started releasing American music and they would only release like James Taylor,
right,
or like Barbara Streisand. And
well, if you only shop at thrift stores, that's exactly what you would assume.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's get everyone to bed. Let's do this giveaway. All right, let's just do this. There's no not anything goes. We're gonna do hashtag LED. I hope everyone has their hashtags set up. Good luck to everyone. There can be only one winner. I'm sorry, but let's do this. Everyone, let's do a virtual cheer. All right, pick a winner. Commode Runner.
Holy nice.
Commode Runner, didn't you win something already?
It's rigged. It's rigged.
This is 2 for Commode Runner. In fact, I don't, I still have an album that someone hasn't claimed.
Damn you, Commode Runner.
I don't know if it was you. I don't know if it was you, Commode Runner, if you got yours, but yeah, there's somebody that just has never sent me their address. I'm ready to crack that baby open and just listen to it. Anyway, congratulations, Commode Runner. And let's see, my Uncle Bob was a lead head. I've yet to climb the stairway other than to get kicked out of Guitar Center. Well, guess what? You're literally on the stairway with this album. So congratulations. Look for more giveaways. I might Commode. I don't know. I might have to filter you out, man. But thanks for joining. You got
to claim it to get it, right?
Yeah, you got to claim it. Should I put a limit on this? Well, I don't know. To be fair, I don't know if it was Commode Runner. I can't remember now. I know that he won a record last time.
We don't mean to besmirch Commode Runner. It's a fascinating name. We hope you enjoy this record. We're sure it's for you.
Yeah. In fact, before you claim this record, you need to explain your name. All right. So that's it, man. This was such a good talk, dude. I really appreciate you guys hanging on a little later. I know it's late for you guys. We'll jump on.
Flow. It had flow, That's
yeah. All right. Thanks for everyone that watched. Man, now we got 20 people on here. Where were you guys half an hour ago when we had some amazing chit chat going on?
Maybe gave this away. Maybe you have to do it later at night instead of doing it before. Maybe
are you guys up for that?
The bars are flat out on the East Coast, so I guess they're jumping on YouTube. Yeah.
So if Commode Runner, if you're out there, if not, somebody get Commode Runner on the horn and let him know he just won a Led Zeppelin 4 Japanese press with a beautiful Obi strip. Congratulations, man. We got 21. Hey, people, hop into the comment section.
And that was courtesy of who is your
oh my God, thank you so much. You have my back. Meon Records. This would not be possible without Meon Records hooking me up. This is the second record I've actually been able to give away courtesy. Literally, they give it to me for free and I pass it on to you guys. So check out Meon Records. Enter discount code SPINS at checkout to save 10%. Yeah, hopefully we can do more of this stuff. We'll see. If people actually use the promo code, then I can do more giveaways. Otherwise, they're going to be like, yeah, screw you, bro. Anyway, thanks to everyone that showed up. Now I feel bad for leaving. Everyone's here, but thanks for so okay.
I think the Fred Putterman stream ended. It's like the bars. So we were at the diner after all the bars closed and people went to go get the greasy breakfast.
All nighter.
There you go. Take care of that little hair of the dog.
Hair of the dog, yes, sir.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for showing up. We will see you next time. And thanks so much for my guests, really co-hosts. I really appreciate you guys being here and being here so late.
Oh, show.
Bye, everyone.